Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you. I can hear you. Just give me a second to adjust my mic.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Yes, definitely, it's better.
Awesome, that's awesome. Welcome everybody to Python for Newbies. Initially, we called this course Python for Dummies, but I got feedback from some students who didn't like it at all. They thought it was a reflection of their intelligence. But if you go into a lot of introductions in tech, you would find lots of courses called Python for Dummies, Java for Dummies, and that sort of thing. It's supposed to be a catchy, but I changed it to Python for Newbies because I agree with everybody else who complains that a dummy cannot possibly grasp the concept in Python. Today, I'm going to break it down. It's going to look like a playground. Has everybody registered on Python Anywhere? Has everybody registered? Hello? Hello, Frank, can you hear me? Oh no, please, can you register? Can I post the link here? If you want to, be part of what I am doing today, if you want to enjoy the session, you have to be hands-on. You would learn by doing right now. So if you can be part of it. Do you have the link or should I post the link?
I think we should post the link. I know we posted it. We posted the link in the group, but we'll post it here as well.
I'll post it again. Okay.
No,
I like hearing I like hearing the voices of my students, please, Frank. Is it possible? People can talk.
It's fine. They can unmute themselves now.
Okay, please, you can unmute yourself if you want to talk. I like to hear your voices.
Yeah, we like to talk too.
Good to have you on. Good to have you. Okay, so the link, I just posted it in the chat box. Okay, so has everybody gotten it?
Yes. Yes, we have seen it.
Awesome. Okay, so I am showing sorry about that. My WhatsApp. Sorry about that. Okay, so I want to start with the basics, but I want to make the basics as uncomplicated as I possibly can. I understand that majority of the people in this class are new to Python. If you're already coding in Python, can you just mention it in the chat? It will help me have an overview of the number of people that are already Pythonistas, what we call them. Do you have experience coding in Python, or is this a new class for you? No responses. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes,
you can drop it in the chat. It will help me. Okay, this is my first time. No, Elizabeth says no. Okay, Newbies. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. I'm new to Python. Okay. So first thing to understand, this is for every single programming language. You have to understand object-oriented programming. So it sounds like a very complicated concept, but it's not. I'm going to break it down for you. Object-oriented programming language is the creation and manipulation of objects. That's simply what it is. To create an object, to manipulate the object. Do you know what Legos are? Do you know what Legos are? You know, those little bricks. I think we call it bricks in Nigeria. Those little bricks that children use to build houses, build different shapes. If you know what Legos are, and if you understand those bricks, if you look around kids and you see, yes, Legos, those little bricks that you put together to build something, that there is a typical example of object-oriented programming. Each time a child picks a brick and they slot it somewhere, slot another one, and slot another one like that, they are building something with different objects. If you notice, those little bricks have different shapes. Some of them can slot into some holes, some of them cannot enter those holes, just because they're all created, they're all made differently for different slots. So that right there, just think about that, and that right there is object-oriented programming, so that you understand what I mean by creation and manipulation of objects. You create those objects, you use them to slot into areas of your code that is important. You manipulate your code with those objects. Forget the bottom of this description that says objects are instances of classes, which they are, but I don't want to bother you with too much information. It's just going to remain on this slide, so that when you download it later on, and when everything falls into place, you'll understand what classes are. For those of you who are not really interested in Python much, who are not going to go further, who are going to just do the 12 weeks, get your certification, you don't have to bother much. This basics that I'm going to show you in this class, I think, is almost sufficient for you to get on with things. I'm going to use a different analogy, which is the most common analogy. Yes, it's like a jigsaw. This is the most common analogy you see, right, for object-oriented programming. The pretty lady with a green top and green glasses, and she's seen as an object. Her name is, let's say her name is Bimpe. We have Bimpe in the group. So she's an object. Bimpe is her name. Now, Bimpe is a human being. That's the class she's in. We just talked about classes from the previous screen. What that means is we can have a class of dogs. We can have a class of cats. We can have a class of horses. So Bimpe is an object who is in a class, right? That's how it is in object. Every object has a class. That way you can easily call that class and that object. Now, Bimpe has attributes. She has a name. She has an age. She has an email. Most importantly, what you're going to use in data analysis is the method. Bimpe has methods. In this regard, we'll say methods are the things that she does and the things that can be done to her. So Bimpe can walk, she can dance. A dog who is in a class, Bingo, who is in a class called dog, cannot walk or dance. So the method that Bimpe has as a human being is that she can walk and she can dance, and a lot of other things. But a dog called Bingo, who is in a class of dogs, cannot walk or dance, but the dog can bark. So there are things that objects can do in one class that they can't do in other classes. When we start our Python basics, we'll go into more details about object-oriented programming. But today, I'm going to do an overview of the main elements in Python. And I encourage you to ask me as many questions as possible. I'll take all these elements one after the other. I'll be fast so we can meet up with the time, and then we're going to do a hands-on test with Python Anywhere. You're going to code for the first time. You're going to print for the first time. And you're going to do all that. Does anybody have any questions so far? Have you all gotten on Python anywhere? The class is very quiet, people.
Yes,
You
yes,
guys
yes.
are quiet today. Okay, all right, great. So Python elements, we have Python data types. We have Python variables, Python operators, control structures, Python modules. Like I said, don't think too much about these elements. These are all, in fact, if you know everything I have just called here, all 5 of them, you are good. If you know them to extinction, you are good. You are a professional. So we're just going to do an overview of everything to get you guys ready. I'll start with Python variables. Yeah. I'll give you an example of a variable. A variable is a container. That's all it is. It's a container that holds data. As you can see there, there's a box, and 21 is going into that box. We can call that box the white box. And today, the white box contains 21. Tomorrow, the white box can contain 50. That is a variable. The white box is a variable. The white box remains white. Every single day, it is constant. It is what goes into the white box that changes. What that means is you can assign a value to a variable. Okay, I'm going to share another part of my screen with you. Please hold on. Please hold on. I'm just trying to get it up. I want to go on Python anywhere and show you what I mean by variable. Okay. Can you see my screen? Can you all see my screen, please?
Yes, we can see your
Okay.
screen.
Okay, great. So Abdul, since you answered first, I want to assign, you're a man, so I'm going to call my variable man. I'm going to assign man to you, Abdul. And so my man is Abdul, if you know what I mean. Man is Abdul. Man is my variable. Man remains constant. I can change man to Frank or any other name. So whenever I tell my console, print man for me, just because I have assigned a variable of Abdul to man, and I say print man, my console prints Abdul. I don't know if you can see, it's a bit small. Okay, this black page, for Malachi, is the Python Everywhere screen that I've been asking everybody to install. Do you need help installing it? Okay, thanks, Bingbe. Do you need help installing it? Frank can help support you with installation in the chat.
Can we just quickly show them how to go in, log in, and create an account?
Okay. Okay. Let's do that. I have to stop sharing my screen again.
Okay. So there's a link. Let me repaste that link. Everyone go to this web page and create an account, register a new account with your email.
I know we've been sending this since morning, actually.
Yeah, it's in the WhatsApp group. We've been sending it since morning.
Okay, all right. I'm going to share my screen. I'll do a new registration so everybody watches. If you're going to be doing Python, this is the console we're going to use for for the intro. After the intro, for those who go to SQL and data engineering, we're going to actually do a local installation on your system, and we'll show you how to install it. But for now, this is what we'll be using. So I'm sharing my screen with you for the installation. Can you all go here so I can show you how to install it and get set up? If you're there, please let me know. Blessing Omelonye, are you there?
Yes, I'm trying to sign.
Okay, just click on this. You can click on start running, or you can just go and register. I just clicked on it just now. You don't have to pay to register. Create a beginner account. You see it up there. It's free. It's limited, but it will do the job of learning. Okay, Ofo, did you click on the link? Did you go to the link?
Yes.
I know Ofo is saying I don't understand. That's why I'm asking. Did you go to the page? Hello, Ofo Malachi, did you go to the page? When you are on the page, you click on run. I can go back so you see what I clicked on. When you're on Python anywhere, this is the home page. Click on this green button here that says start running Python online in less than a minute. Click on it and it takes you to the next page. This is the next page. You want to choose the option at the top where you don't pay any money, it's free. You're going to use it for your training. So you need an account. You click on it and you choose a username. I'm going to choose one, I don't know. An email. Ofo Malachi, are you following?
Ofo, can you confirm what the confusion is? Cassy, I think you should progress. Just move on.
Yes, I know. I'm trying to make sure that everybody understands the registration process. I hope everybody is where I am now and understands the registration process. You click on register, and that is it. You are registered. It sends you an email immediately for confirmation. Welcome to WW Python. Okay, it's still moving. That's why I've got this red thing. But that's it. I can go ahead with the training, right? This is all you need to do to register.
Then go log in and show them how to go to console.
Yes, that's what I'm waiting. I'm waiting for it to load.
Okay.
Okay, it's kind of slow. I don't know why. Have you guys registered? Are you logged in?
Yes, I'm registered. I'm trying to confirm on my email.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
yes. Logged in.
Okay, great. I don't know why this is slow. Let me see if I can send my email as well. Okay, that's good. Registered, Abdul, great. Registered, Lawal, great. Blessing, you're in there, right? You registered as well. For the life of me, I don't understand why my page is blank. It can't be that my internet is slow. So I hope you're all, are you guys logged in?
Yes.
Oh, you say you're lost, but you're not telling us why you're lost. I already asked you to register, log in, and then we can continue. You're not going to be lost once you're logged in. I guarantee you of that. Is it the object-oriented programming that's the problem? Because like I said, it's not a key thing. Frank, can you please take Mr. Alfor?
Yeah, he said he logged in, but doesn't know where to go next.
Yes,
So,
but I showed it. I showed the process on the screen from start to finish.
Click console and then click the latest date. It will open the latest.
So for those who have registered and are logged in, go to your dashboard. Did you see me click dashboard just now? Those who are registered, go to your dashboard. Have you guys clicked your dashboard? Is it loading faster than it's loading here for me?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
End the tour. Exit the tour. It's not important right now. What you want to do is open, create a console. If you look at it, you see Python here. Python. Can you guys see it?
Yes.
Okay. So you click on Python. You can pick any version you want. Right now, I'm working on 3.9. You can pick 3.9, you can pick 3.8. It doesn't matter. So that's it. It's loading for the first time. That's why it's doing all that. Are we good to go, people?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Lawal, Miriam, Gloria, David, Abdul, Blessing. Are you guys good?
Yes, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm on
All right, great. So what I did before, because we're talking about variables, and I said a variable is a container, is a box. You just put whatever you want to put into the container or the box. There's something making noise in the background. Can you guys turn your mic off if you have a noise in the background? Okay. So a variable is a container. You put something in that container, you take it out. If it's a white container, it's still a white container. So I called man a variable, right? And I assigned the variable Abdul to man. That's my assignment. And I decided, okay, I want bring out the container, bring out my man, bring out the man, right? To do that in Python, you use the print function. You will get to that. I'm just giving you guys an example. So I'm using the print function to bring out the container man, and I want Python to tell me what is that variable, what is in that variable. It tells me it's Abdul. I can change it again and call my variable Lawal. It's my choice. I can change it to anything. The container is still a man, and I can point a command telling Python to tell me what variable I stored in man, and it told me again it's Lawal. So I can change this variable over and over again. The concept of variable is something you're going to use a lot in Python. In fact, it is something that you'll see me use here, doing a simple data analysis so that you can understand what a variable, how useful it is for Python. It helps you, for instance, let's say you have a data set that has 2 million lines of data in it. The easiest way to bring your data set right into your screen is to assign it a variable. You can call it data set equal to so and so CSV. And then later on, you can call that data set and say, you can say in Python, you can request for row 1,500,000 in the variable which you have assigned to it. And it goes and brings your data. We'll get to that later. I just wanted to show you that I'm gonna make this easy for you guys, just so that it becomes very simple. Yeah. Let's say I'm traveling abroad, or I'm traveling somewhere, and my husband cannot cook, which really he cannot cook, or doesn't want to eat, or whatever. And I decide that I want to create an ingredient list that will make it easy for him to cook. So all I'll just tell him, hey, honey, put ingredient 1, ingredient 2, ingredient 3, ingredient 4. I don't want to tell him what's ingredient 1, because by the time I start telling him put crayfish, put salt, put pepper, the man gets confused. So I can do that in Python. I can create an ingredient list. I can say ingredient 1 is equal to, let me call that water, because that's the base, right? Water. I can say ingredient 2 is equal to, let's say we're making Indomie. I can say it's equal to Indomie. Because after water, the next thing, when the water boils, I put Indomie. You guys, bear with me. This is going to help you remember. Ingredient 3. Can someone give me a third ingredient? After water and Indomie. Anybody?
Onion.
Anybody here can? Onions. Great, great. Onions. Yeah. Ingredient 4. Something exciting to make this Indomie awesome. Pepper. Great. Okay, let's do a 5th ingredient to make it ingredient 5.
Eggs.
Eggs, yes. I like it when you just throw the eggs inside. And sardine, eggs. Awesome. So that's my ingredients. Yeah. I can print my ingredients. Or I can say to him, honey, ingredient 1 is water. I can say add ingredient 1. After that, add ingredient 2, and then ingredient 3. You get? And I can tell him that is the format to follow for the next 1 year. Just go to my spreadsheet and just, see what is in ingredient 1, ingredient 2, ingredient 3. So today it could be water, Indomie, onions, pepper, eggs. Tomorrow it can be water, rice, tomato, beef. I can change it, but my ingredient 1, 2, 3, 4, the format that I give is going to be the same. So let's say I want to print my ingredient list. I can just say ingredient 1, ingredient 2, ingredient 3, ingredient 4, ingredient 5. Yeah. There it goes. Water, indomie, onions, pepper, egg. It's constant. So tomorrow I can change my ingredients. I can change ingredient 1 to something else. I don't want to take you guys deeper, but I could actually go and change ingredient 1 and now call my ingredient list, and it will give me a different ingredient. Let me share my slide to help you. Does anybody have any questions so far? Any questions? None? Noodle spice. Okay, so this is where I stop. I can say, honey, add ingredient 1, let it cook. Let it cook for 5 minutes, add ingredient 2, after 10 minutes, add ingredient 3, and then ingredient 4. Before bringing the pot down from the fire and add ingredient 5. This is my instructions. Oh yes, please, Lawal, ask away.
Okay, my question is, I'm not using the laptop, I'm actually using my phone.
Okay, the problem is you can't do Python with your phone.
Oh, okay. I don't have access to my laptop now. There's no light.
No problem. We're going to do a recording of this session, and you can go back and look at it later.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, no worries. So this is my instruction. I don't really need to say pepper salt, because this same instruction, I can give it to him tomorrow to cook rice. I can give it to him to cook ogbono, I can just leave my instructions like this. Me knowing that too many ingredients will complicate the matter, just giving it a variable name, which is the container, is what all I need to do. I can make the actual ingredient 1 equal to this, equal to that, available in a spreadsheet. So all you have to do is go to the spreadsheet and see what I'm referring to. I hope this makes sense. I hope this makes sense, guys. Any questions? Okay, what I did here is called a concatenation. Like I said, there are some things I'm not going to bother you guys with, but I can get my console to print this out. Oh, sorry, trying to move this thing upwards. I can get my console to print this out by concatenating the sentences together. And if you look at the bottom, it will say, honey, boil water for 5 minutes and then add indomie, blah, blah, blah. That we will do when we have gone further than the induction. Does anybody have any questions about variable before I move forward? Okay, no question. What is a variable, guys? What is a variable? No answer?
So I think,
Lawal, yeah, Chimeze.
so variable
is the container that holds data.
Thank you. It's a container that holds data.
Data.
Yes. What is the main feature of a variable? The main thing about a variable. Any answers?
Constant. Constant.
Oh, well, yes. You know what, Tina, you just told me that you already know. You already know a bit about variables. We have constant variables, actually. Constant variables don't change, but that's not what I'm teaching you guys. I'm just teaching you guys the basic variables. We have variables that are constant. There's a way we create a variable and we make it constant, so it doesn't change no matter what you do. All through your code is the same. But the main thing about variable is that the data that it holds, just like Chimeze said, is a container. The main thing about it is that the data that it holds can change anytime. You can change the data as long as it's not a constant variable. And even a constant variable, you can go ahead and change the data. by calling the variable and assigning new data to it. It is used to reference the object. That is correct. That is a good explanation of a variable. It is used to reference an object. I was going to go deeper and explain functions and classes, but no need for that. It's used to reference an object here. So the picture of that lady, let's say the lady is Miriam Lawal, and Miriam Lawal is an object. So we can assign name. It's an attribute that we assign to the object. Thank you very much. Next up is Python data type. Today I'm going to show you guys Boolean, numbers, strings, and lists. I'll leave the rest, dictionary, sets, and tuples, because I don't want to go deep into them. But Python supports a lot of data types. I don't know if you know what integers are or Booleans. Do you guys know any of these data types apart from numbers? Don't tell me you know numbers, please. Does anybody know any of these data types?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Each data type has its own set of operations and methods and attributes, etc., that you can work with. I want to show you examples of the 4 data types that I want to explain. We have numbers. Numbers there are 2 types of numbers. Of course, there are decimal numbers, there are fractions and all that. Well, I'm going to assume that we're just talking about regular numbers today. I don't want to go deep into it, but there are different types of numbers. Numbers are 5, 10, etc. We have strings. When I assigned the variable Abdul, to man, Abdul was a string. If you notice, I put Abdul in quotes. Don't know if you noticed that. It can be double quotes or it can be single quotes. Because it's a string, you have to put it in a quote. If not, you're going to get an error. Very important for data analysis. A lot of the times when you call data or you try to load data, you might mistakenly say, for instance, you can say data internship.csv. It is a string. It should be under quotes. So remember that. A Boolean is true or false, yes or no. There are times when you're going to use Booleans as decorators for your code you can say, if this is true, do this. If this is false, do that. You'll get to that stage later on. These are all types of data. Okay, let me put it this way, right? I use these very juvenile examples sometimes, so you guys should bear with me. It just makes it easy to explain. Let us say numbers are equal to spaghetti, and strings are equal to soup, and Booleans are equal to, let's think of any food, plantain, yeah. And lists is equal to water. These are all different types of edibles that you can take, drink, eat, and all that. There's something you notice about all these foods I called. They have different ways of being consumed. For example, numbers is spaghetti. You can't eat spaghetti with a spoon, and you can't drink spaghetti. You need a fork to eat spaghetti. String is soup. Of course, you cannot eat soup with a fork. You can drink it, you can use a spoon. So that shows you what data types are. Data types are different, and you treat them differently. As you can see numbers. You put numbers plainly. You don't put them in double quotes or single quotes, because you treat numbers differently from strings. You can see the Boolean is a capital T. If you put a small letter T, you'll get an error. Data types is what Python uses to understand the command you give it. And for you to be able to use data types efficiently, you need to remember that they are treated differently. List, you can see my list, yam, rice, iru. If you notice, in my list, I have strings. I can also put numbers here. My strings are in quotes. If you put yam, comma, rice, comma, iru, without the quotes, you'll get an error. We're going to give it a try. Okay. Let's go to your console, guys. Let's go to the console. Hey guys, have you got your console open? I'm not getting a response. Is everybody following me?
Yes.
Is it easy at all? If it's tough, you have to let me know so I can tone things down. I'm really trying to make it
It's easy.
very simple. Thank
It's not
you.
easy for me, though.
Offer. Is it Offer that said that just now?
Yeah, in fact, I'm just watching you guys. I'm just watching because I can't even get into my Python programming page. So I was left behind.
Okay, you know what?
Uh-huh.
No, Offer, I don't want to leave anybody behind.
Okay.
What can you tell me what you're seeing on your screen that's the problem? Can you tell me what you're seeing right now?
I don't know how to get into this black picture, this black board that's on your screen. Did
you get to the website?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Did you click on start a Python console in 1 minute? You click on that.
No, I can see host, run, and code Python in the cloud. Then if I scroll down, I will see start running Python online in less than a minute.
Click that button. Click that button of start running Python in less than a minute.
Okay.
It will now take you to another page.
Yeah,
at the very top.
The right plans and pricing.
At the very top, go to the very top. That's where you see the free button. The one for the limited, you see it there at the top.
Yes, I see beginner free.
Click on that one, yeah.
Okay, beginner free.
Yeah, click on that.
Okay, I click.
Wait, it will take you to register, then you register.
No, it's not. Beginner free.
Click on the button.
I click on.
Are you good?
Yeah, I see create a beginner account. Is that what you mean?
Okay, then you can register and log in and you can follow along with us.
No, is that where I should click create a beginner account?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I've clicked on it. Let me see what comes up. Okay, I see username, email, password again.
Okay, so
fill that out.
Any questions you have, you can ask in the chat section while I proceed. We still have a lot to do, so you can still join us along the way.
Okay, ma. Thank you.
The console, this is called the Python console. If you've typed several things and your page is cluttered, right? Just type Control L. Let me type it in the chat box for everybody. To clear your screen. Click on the Control and L and it clear your screen. I can barely see my screen. Control and then L. It's to clear your screen, just like I cleared mine just now. I want us to work with data types so that you can get a hang of typing yourself. Assign data type to yourself. So, for example, data type name. Assign your name to the variable name. So for me, you guys should join me in doing this because I would really like to see your screen. Or I would really like to know if you're experiencing any difficulties in doing it. I've assigned a name to my name. I'm going to assign age. Because it's a number, I'm not going to use quotes. I am 16, by the way. So I'm going to assign my sweet 16 age to the variable age, 16. Can somebody tell me what else, based on the data types I mentioned before, what else I can assign to myself? Can anybody help me out?
Your favorite food.
Okay.
My favorite food. Okay. I'm gonna do that in a list, right?
Yes.
Okay. Food. Variables, you can't have spaces in variables. You can do foods I like, but I'm just gonna do food. I want to put in a list, and a list usually comes with it goes in there. And because my foods are strings, the foods that I like cheese, comma, I like plantain, comma. I want to piss somebody off. I love amala. So these are the foods I like. And I've assigned them to a list. Now I want to assign a boolean. I've opened the account. What next? Okay, for now that you've opened the account, click on Python. There's a button called Python there. And choose any of the Python versions, 3.8, 3.9, doesn't matter. And please call me Cassy. Ma is my mom. Thank you. Okay, so now I have my name. I've assigned my name to the variable name. I've assigned my sweet 16 age to the variable age. I've put in the foods that I love. I want to ask a question and assign a Boolean value to it. So my question can be tall, right? I don't want to do a camel case for you guys. There's something we call a camel case, asking a proper question like, is she tall? I want to keep things simple. That's why I'm using just the word tall. Tall, yes or no? True. I am tall. There we go. That's me. I can assign all these variables to one object. These are attributes. So I can assign all these attributes to one object. But because this lesson isn't about object-oriented programming, I'm not going to bother creating a class and assigning attributes to the class and all that. What I'm just going to do now is print what I've done. Okay? I want to just print my name, you know?
Please hold on a second. I think I have lost my audio.
We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
we can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you. Okay, so I'm going to print. I don't know, is my screen frozen or is it showing? It seems like it's frozen.
It's showing.
Okay. It appears to be frozen from here for some reason. Okay, while it's resolving itself, are you guys following through? And has anybody tried assigning names, age, food, and
Yes.
Okay, Chimeze, you have done that. Okay,
Yes.
try printing, let's say print foods. Remember, the print function is print brackets. I'm going to share a different screen to show you guys that part. Okay, Chimeze, or who was it that said they had tried it? I think it was Chimeze.
Yes.
Okay, great. So have you tried printing any of your variables?
Yes, I have a printed name.
Great.
Printed age.
Printed age, great. That's awesome. Has anybody else tried it and did it work? Has anybody else tried it? Okay, I'm going to move on. I'm assuming there are no questions. What I have in front of you right now is an error. I'm showing you an error. And this error, I want you guys to see, because I'm assuming someone would have seen this error. Did anybody come across this error?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Shayna. Shayna, the reason you're seeing this error is because your list, you have strings in your list and they are not in quotes. Look at your
Yeah,
list.
you're right. Yes, you're right.
So you can do Control-L, clean it out, and then do your listing, or just print. You can just go ahead and print your list, but this time around, make your correction first. You can create a new assignment to the variable foods, and then or whichever one is giving you that error. It says clearly name error, name yam is not defined. The way I've put yam and rice, I made them sound like a variable to Python because I didn't put them in quotes. Python will treat your data the way you present the data to it. I presented my yam and rice like a variable, and it didn't find a variable called yam or rice. And because it's not in a quote, it's not looking at it like a string, it's looking at it like a variable. That's why it's telling me yam is not defined, meaning that I haven't defined yam as a variable. So just remember this, strings should be in quotes, numbers are numbers, booleans are true or false, capital T, capital F, and your lists can contain numbers, they can contain strings, but just remember to still treat them the way you treat your data type when they are inside a list form. I wanted us to go faster because we don't have more time left. We're just going to look at operators, which is one of the elements of Python I mentioned. In primary school, we all did less than, equal than, greater than. I don't know if you guys remember it. I think when I was young, we would use our right hand and fold it up to say, okay, this is greater than, and then our left hand to say is less than. Yes. It's a silly way to remember, but it worked. It worked for me.
It worked.
Yes, it worked. Even when I'm coding and I'm coding really fast and I'm like, for a split second, I'm thinking, which one is greater than? I just use my hand and like, okay, right hand is greater than, that sort of thing. These are operators in Python. The way mathematics treats these operators is different from the way Python treats them. So but you can see less than in mathematics is the same as Python. In mathematics, you can see less than or equal to. In Python, though, it's important to note that equal to is double equals, not just one. But everything else remains the same. Plus, minus, division, multiplication remains the same. Okay, I wanted us to do this real quick. Yeah. I'll show you what I'm trying to do here. So you guys should join me and try it out, please. That would be great. I'm going to do Control L to clean out my console. Just a quick one. I'm going to say A is equal to 5. If you notice, 5 is not in quotes because it's not a string, it's a number. I want to say B is equal to 12. And I'm going to print my function. That's a print. I'm going to call the print function. And I'm going to use the operator plus and say A plus B. So I'm telling Python, I'm assigning 5 to the variable A, I'm assigning 12 to the variable B, and I'm telling Python, print A plus B for me. And there you go, 17. You can do any kind of mathematical, addition, subtraction. You can add up a row of 10 million numbers. You can tell Python sum up from A to this. You can tell it remove this and sum up. There's so many options and so many things you can tell Python to do for you. So let's give it a try, guys. Let's see if you guys can do this. Just assign a number to A, assign a number to B, and then print A plus B. You can also do A minus B. You can also do A divided by, let's stick to plus so that you don't get errors for now. You guys try it and tell me what numbers you added and what you got, please. If you're having errors, if you're getting errors, let me know. I can walk you through it. Or for how is it going? Or for Malachi, is it going well?
Your audio was off for like 1 minute or and a half. I didn't see anything. I just saw you now.
Okay, now I was asking how is your, so you guys didn't hear what I was saying about AB, adding your A to your B and printing it? Please, can anyone else confirm that they heard me?
I heard you.
Okay, thank you.
I heard you.
Thanks, Shana. Okay, so for maybe it's from your end, but have you gotten your console up? Is your console up?
Yes.
Okay, great. So are you working with us on this?
Assign
a number to A, assign a number to B, and then print A plus B.
Yes, I see what you. I'm trying to see if I can write it. B equals to 12.
Any number you want. So is it only Chimezie, Shana? I mean, there's so many people in the class now today. You guys, Azimat, where are you? Abdul, are you following? Okay, all right, great, Miriam. All right, so are you guys doing this? Are you guys getting it?
Yes, I got it.
Okay, all right, great. It wasn't so hard, was it?
No.
Okay. I'll go back to sharing my slide. I really wanted you guys to try it out. Here I did Jane equal to 2, Frank equal to 5. And then I also assigned Cassy and Jane and Frank to Cassy. So I did Jane plus Frank, and then I printed out Cassy. There's so many ways you can play around with variables and print your print function. I won't bother going into this. I thought I had enough time to go into these kinds of statements. So maybe on the next time we do this. This is important. I know I'm running out of time, Frank, so bear with me. But this is important. Python models. If you look at the models here, you'll see PyTorch, NumPy. NumPy is used by data scientists to calculate. Matplotlib is used by data scientists, data analysts to do visualizations real easy. TensorFlow is an AI that a lot of people use today. Plotly is for plotting graphs. So you can see all this stuff. A lot of times when you're looking for jobs now, let's say you're looking for a data science job or something like that, even some data analyst jobs, you find some employers asking you, do you know NumPy? Do you know Matplotlib? And that sort of thing. I'm going to cover all these modules in my Python session, because this is Python for data analytics. It's not Python for web development. So I'm not going to go into stuff that has to do with software engineering. No, I'm going to go into stuff that has to do with analyzing data and presenting data, sorting data, modeling data, and that sort of thing. That is why I think this particular lesson, even though it's an induction, it's not going to be complete without me showing you how to pull data with a model. What I mean by pull, that's getting data from an external source. Okay, so open up your, what's it called, your console. I'll first of all break down what I want to do so that you will understand. I'm going to get Seaborn. Seaborn is a model that is used in Python. It does a variety of things. One of the most interesting things about it is it has some sample data sets that you can work with. What I've done in the first line, I have imported Seaborn as SNS. Don't worry yourself. Most times when you import, I can say import Seaborn, but I'm importing it as SNS. Why? Because I want to call it later on and I don't want to type the full word Seaborn. Next, I have assigned Betty the data set iris. Betty equal to SNS dot load underscore dataset. Dot load underscore dataset is a function. You're going to come across a whole lot of functions in data science. You're going to load data set, you're going to slice this data set, you're going to do so much. You're going to be able to create a chart from a function. But what I'm saying to Python right now is import Seaborn, first of all, import this model because I want to access the data set that is in this model. And then I create a variable and I tell Python, go into SNS because I'd already imported it as SNS and load the data set called iris. Python did just that. And then I tell Python, print Betty.head. Betty is the variable I created from the second line. .head is another function here again. Now in data science, the head function prints the first 5 lines of your data. That's what the head function does. Okay, now just to know that, I just want to know if you guys are following me. How many functions did I use in this console that you're looking at? How many functions? Please. Can somebody tell me? Just to know if you're following.
Can I guess?
Yes, please, Malachi, go ahead.
3.
You're close, not quite, but close. Thanks for trying. I use 2 functions. I use the load dataset function, and then I use the head function. So load dataset bracket is a function. The reason you see iris inside is because iris is a command that it takes. Then I use the .head function. I didn't put anything inside the .head function because the .head function can work without any command. I wanted to show you guys this and practicalize it, and we'll do it together, but I don't think it's there's time. What is going to be in the sheet for you. And I'm breaking it down here. The first thing I did is to import the pandas library and load the data set. Seaborn is part of the library. And then I create a variable called Betty, and I assign it the data set that I am importing. Okay, just so you know, this data set iris is very popular. If you look at it here, you'll notice sepal length, petal length. It's a bunch of flowers in the 1930s, in 1936 that were measured, and since then statisticians have used it for analysis. So it's a really useful data set that you can use to test your cleaning and all that. So lastly, I use the head function to slice the data. What I did, I sliced the first 5 lines of that data set so that I could look at it. So I'm looking at the data set just because I want to see what's at the top of the data set. I could decide to slice out the last 5, which will be a tail function. Or I can decide to, there's so much I can do with, there's so many functions that data scientists use in Python to view data. The reason why you would need to do all this is because the data is humongous. You can't load it on Excel, and you can't do a lot with it anywhere else except on Python. Or yeah, you can do it on Power BI and Tableau, of course, but because this is a Python lesson, I needed to bring it here on Python so you guys can have a look at it. Any questions? Okay, so this part I will not bother with, but I just needed you guys to know that there are different ways of controlling your code. You can use if statements, switch statements, all these statements. You saw a sample of the if statement I did. I'm going to go back to it just to show you. That's it. I created a variable called A. I assigned it the value 2. I created another variable called B, and I assigned it the value 3. And then I used an if statement to say that if A is greater than B, print A. Is A greater than B? No, it's not. And then I said else print B. And I ran my command, and the console gave me 3, which is the value for B, because A is not greater. So you can see it's a conditional statement. It evaluates the first command, and then else it does this or that. Let us leave that. This room is too quiet, people.
We are with you.
Okay.
We're paying attention, and
Okay.
Ma, you know we're new to it. So
I know.
we're trying to.
We are so we have to pay more attention.
Yes, I was hoping you guys will ask me lots of questions. It tells me you guys are following since you're not asking questions, which is good.
Yeah, we're following.
So, I was going to do a playground. We're going to do a playground for printing things and print function. So you guys, again, this is the print function. This is your hello world task. You can print anything. You can just try it out, play with it, print a variable or print directly, doesn't matter. Remember to treat your data types correctly or you're going to get syntax errors. Look at here, I said print Cassy Eguakun. I didn't put Cassy Eguakun in quotes. It could be double or single quotes. That is why I'm getting a syntax error. The system, the console doesn't understand Cassy Eguakun. It is not a variable, so why is it not being treated as a string? But then when I put it in quotes, as you can see in single quotes, the console prints it out correctly.
So, excuse me, ma.
Yes, dear. Yes.
So either double quote or single quote, it doesn't matter.
Yes. Yes, that does,
Okay.
for Python, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
for Python, it doesn't matter. But if you are going to learn any other language, don't follow Python. Python can be stupid like that. Things like this don't matter. Python is more interested in the core of your code and not stuff like double quotes and single quotes. So for Python, it doesn't matter. You can use double or single.
Okay, but anyone we are using, does it mean we should be consistent on it? I mean, maybe now on a line you use single and then the next line you use double. Does it have any problem with that?
No, it doesn't have any problem with that. There's no problem with that. But if you're concatenating, I'm going to teach you that. There is usually best practice, right? Okay. Are you a double quote programmer or a single quote programmer? I'm a single quote programmer. Most of my code, you see single quote. The only reason you are seeing double quotes here is because I needed to show you guys that you can use any. It's good to be consistent because it makes your code readable. Okay. So if you start a line of code and you start with double quote, there are times when you see a quote inside a quote. if you have a double quotes outside, you can't put double quotes inside, you have to put single quotes. It's just a norm, it's best practice. So I'll show you the best practice as you're learning how to program as a Python analyst. I'll show you the best practices and you work on it. You will see the errors. And I have to tell you guys something. The reason you see me showing you errors is because 80% of the time, that is all you'll be doing, fixing errors. The actual time you will spend coding is actually very limited. You will spend more time debugging your code from your analysis and all that. That's because that's the best way to learn, by debugging your own code. So thanks for that question, Ofo. It's a very reasonable question. You can alternate it, but it is best to follow the best practices, which I'll show you when you start. Any other questions? Okay, like I showed you just now. Okay, yeah. Go ahead, Elizabeth.
My question is the print function you are talking about, because I actually was following through my phone. The print function you are talking about, are you to type it, or there's a place you have to click on the print function? I don't understand.
Oh, you have to type it. You have to type it. I type it every single time, yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, you have to type it. It's a good thing you're following on your phone. It's really hard to follow on the phone, but you have to type it. In data analysis, you find yourself not really, this print function is just for learning. You find yourself not really needing to print anything because you run your code will work. It's just that this print function is just used mostly, just majorly when you are learning. So you have to type it. In this scenario I have here, instead of doing print Cassy Eguakun as a string, I first of all assigned the variable with my name, and then I printed my name. I had to show you this because this is the best practice. It's the best practice because let's leave name aside. Let's say data set. Let's say you're assigning data set to a value and you're doing a lot along the way. It is easy to go and reassign your value. It's easy for you to go back to your variable and change the data set. Let's say you're working with CSV1 and you want to do some work with CSV2. It's easy for you to go back and change the value of that variable to CSV2.
Some people might not know what CSV is.
CSV, everybody knows what CSV is now. Frank, what is it?
We know.
Is anybody here that doesn't know what CSV is?
We know.
Thank you.
I know CSV file. I don't know if it's the same thing with what.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the file.
Okay.
I'm talking about if you assign, because I'm looking at real world scenarios here, right? When you are working, because when you're actually doing a data analysis job, you are not assigning your name to a variable. That's just an example.
Okay.
In the real world, when you have a real task to do, you might call that variable data, right? And you assign it to gloriadavid.csv. Do you get it? Because there's some data in that gloriadavid.csv that you want to access. And then you work and work, you slice your data, you clean your data, you remove null values, you do all that. You get to a point where you decide, okay, I've done all this for this gloriadavid.csv. I want to do it for ofomalachi.csv. So it is easier for you to simply go back to the variable here, like where I did name equal to Cassy. It's easier for you to go back to that variable and change it from gloriadavid.csv to ofomalachi.csv. But if you don't assign a variable from the beginning and you are hard coding it the way I did here, they call it hard coding. You see what I did here? I did print Cassy Eguakun and it printed. Imagine if I have worked, let's say I have worked and worked and worked and I get to the end and I want to do the same thing for a different CSV file. Am I now going to go back and change every instance of Cassy Eguakun everywhere? I don't know if you get my point. It is so easy for you at the beginning to just put your variable value so you can change it and it applies to every single instance that you mentioned it. I don't know if you guys get what I'm talking about, hard coding.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
In summary, hard coding bad, not good. You know, don't hard code, just create a variable, assign a value so that you can change that value anytime.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, ma. Please, ma, I want to say something. Please don't be offended.
Okay.
Yes, my name is Malachi.
Oh, Malachi, I'm sorry.
Yes. No. I observed that since yesterday I've been called Malachi. It's not Malachi. It's Malachi, the last name of the Old Testament. Sorry,
that's true. It's a Bible name. It's not an Igbo name.
Yes, the last book of the Old Testament. Thank you, ma'am. So let's go.
Thank you very much. I like that. Thank you. Okay, so we're at the end of this course, and I just wanted to know how many people successfully printed their name today. How many people? Can I go away and go to bed knowing I successfully helped to make Python programmers? Yes, because the minute you print your name, you are now a beginner Python programmer. It's as simple as that.
Yes, my name.
Sorry. You couldn't print because you're using a phone.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
no
I was using a phone. Not just that, I had a lot of errors, like you said. So that was why I couldn't. And I'm also using phone too.
Okay.
So
I was able to print
my laptop. So
yes, ma. I printed mine. I was following your example, and
okay. Congratulations, you're now a Python programmer, whether you want it or not. A Python analyst, and this is the beginning. This is the beginning of your journey. If you decide to go further with it.
Okay, so please,
I like it.
Thank you.
So
Malachi.
please,
thank you.
Yeah, Shana.
Okay, so
Gloria.
the data you use in Python, is it that do you export it from maybe Excel or from somewhere before you start the code?
No, what I did was I pulled in the data. I'm going to go back. I pulled in data with this import Seaborn. Do you want me to show you?
Okay.
I can actually do it if you guys, okay, there isn't time. I pulled in the data, I imported Seaborn, and then I loaded the data, Iris. So it's a data that already exists in the cloud. But I can actually pull in a CSV, but that was not what this lecture was about.
Okay.
I could have pulled in a CSV from my system. I could have uploaded it into Python.
Okay, that's maybe like from Excel or...
Yes, I could have done that, but I needed to get an external data set. The point of getting that data set was so you guys could see how to work with a module and how you can use a module, you can manipulate a module using the function load data set, and then using the function head to slice the data.
God should help me.
It's okay, it's doable. It's very doable.
It's very interesting, but just that maybe because it's the first time, like it's just strange, but it's very interesting.
It's very easy. Python is for me is the easiest language you can learn in programming if you're looking at learning programming. If you're looking at going further than Power BI and Tableau and you want to go proper into programming, Python is the easiest language because it's literally like you are writing in English when you start working with it. So it's doable, right? Is it kind of easy, kind of hard, easy, hard? You know, I wanted to do this poll to understand because it helps me as a tutor to know whether to simplify it more than I have done already.
For starting,
it's easy.
Okay, thank you.
Because
it's easy. The only reason why it will look tough for me, I don't know other people, is because this is actually my first time, but the way you were playing around with it was so easy and like interesting, and I was like, wow, can I ever do it this way?
You will. By the time you attend 2 classes, it's gonna be easy. You'll be doing tougher things. Yes, Amina Ola, we're gonna have We're going to have the recordings available. So go home, play with Python anywhere, whenever you're free, learn something new.
Sorry.
If you do come back to my full-time class, we're going to have lots of sessions on Python. We're going to play a lot with it. I call it play because for me, I think that when you look at Python like fun, play, if you learn Python from a gaming perspective, it makes it interesting and easy. Share your screen with friends. We have an analyst hangout group on LinkedIn. Even if you don't join our calls, you can join the group and share what you're doing with other people and network. That's fine. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have.
I'm trying to.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, let me take one at a time. Gloria, Elizabeth, you were saying?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. A lady was asking earlier that the seaborn of a thing, do you import it? And you said it was already existing in the cloud. Please, what's the cloud all about? Can you break it down so that we can?
Okay, let me share my screen. Hold on, please. I'll clear this out.
I wanted to ask how you clear it out.
It's Control L.
Okay, thank you.
Control L. That's how you clear it out. Okay, I mentioned that seaborn is a model, if you remember, part of the models that you find on Python. Now, to import a model, I can import so many models here, but I want to import seaborn only. And I'm importing it as, I imported it as SNS just because I don't want to type the full word seaborn every single time, right? I'm going to assign it to any name. Just let me think of any name. Let me think of one of the names of the students here today. Miriam Lawal, please don't be offended I'm using your name. So Seaborn is building, Marcos is doing the fun function at the moment.
I can't see the screen. I don't know if anybody can.
You can't see it?
Yeah, your screen.
Okay. Can everybody else see my screen? Oh, sorry. Looks like I'm not sharing.
Yeah, you're not sharing.
Oh, sorry about that. We are done. I'm just sharing just this last tidbit.
Okay. Everyone, I've pasted the LinkedIn group in the chat box. Go there, sign up. We give freebies. We support. As far as you're a data analyst, we support you, even if you're not paying for the full package. You know, we try to arrange mentors for people, but we'll come back to that. Sorry for interrupting.
Okay, so here we go. Import. Can you see my screen now?
No. Okay, yes.
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 So I'm importing Seaborn as SNS. Like I said, SNS is just an acronym for Seaborn. And you use that when you don't want to type so long, a word that is too long. And I'm going to assign it. I've imported Seaborn. It's a package, it's a model, a Python model. I showed you lots of models that we use in Python. This is just one of them, right? I'm going to assign, Miriam, I'm using your name. Please, no vex. So I'm assigning SNS, which is the model I just imported. Yeah.
Can you do sorry, control scroll or increase your font size?
Okay, hold on. Maybe I should just.
Since it's the web, you can just increase the web page font size.
I'm using Opera. Hold on, let me do it on Firefox. Oh, better. So much better. Okay, I'll share it now. Can you guys see better now?
Yes.
I'm going to clear it again and do it one more time. Okay. feels like it's frozen for some reason. Can you see it?
We can
Yes,
see
we
it.
can.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. So SNS, what I did was I imported just because I want to answer the question of where did the data come from. I imported the data, imported Seaborn as SNS, which is the acronym for Seaborn. So right now, data has been imported, just like you can't see it because I did import Seaborn. I can import any library I want. I can import some pandas. I can import Matplotlib. I can import Facebook. It's the model, and I can access the Facebook API just by doing that. I'm going to assign the data that I just imported. It's not the data, there is a library. I'm going to access a data inside, a piece of data inside the library, right? So I'm calling my SNS and I'm appending the function load data set to it. That's the function, load data set. Now, all functions come with brackets. Load data set function, that is exactly how it's supposed to be. I'm appending it to SNS. What I'm saying is, Seaborn, I want to load your data set called Iris. Seaborn, I want to load your data set called Iris. And I want you to assign this data set to the variable Miriam. So now what I want to do, I don't want to print the whole data set. If I click on print Miriam, my console is going to crash because that data set is really huge. So what I'm going to do, right, is use the print function, print bracket, and print a section of Miriam. So Miriam, I'm appending head, which is the first 5 records in that data set. There you go, sepal length. Do you guys get it now?
No, ma.
Yes, very well.
So someone said very well. How did he get it?
Because that's true. For Malakai.
Ma.
There's okay. Tell me what else? What don't you understand, please? So that I can just explain it real quick before we round up.
Like if you wanted to print more than, I don't know why I'm saying this, but if you wanted to print more than 5, that head in the bracket, you can put 10, you can put 20. It will now print more than 5 for you. Sorry for.
Yes, yes. I don't want to take them deep into that, but yes, you can print a number. You can print the tail. I can actually even summarize the content, or I can describe the content. There's kind of a lot I can do with this, but I'm just keeping it simple. Now, import Seaborn. I'm importing a module. Like I explained to you, modules are used in Python a lot. They contain, it's a library. It's just like importing, what do I call it now? Let's just say I'm importing a dictionary. How about that? Let's say I'm importing Ogosilgo right now, yeah? And because it's a lot, I'm assigning it to a variable, and I'm only picking out exactly what I want from that library that I just imported. So thank you guys very much. Like I said, you're not going to learn everything in one day. So I'm glad you guys followed along. I'm hoping that we're going to have more sessions in the future. If you still have any questions, just drop it in the WhatsApp group and I'll answer. I'm always available to answer. So
Ma, please, I have a short question. I have a small question now.
Yes, no problem.
Like when I'm writing a programming and I made a mistake, I don't know the cursor to use to cancel, just like backspace. I don't know. Like to cancel, if I try canceling it.
Okay, do you?
Okay, it's going.
It depends.
Okay,
Do you want to?
Okay.
Do you want to just delete the whole thing you have done, or do you want to just delete a section?
Just sorry, ma. I don't think that it is working now. I don't know. Maybe. And maybe that's the thing they fear you when they want to ask questions. The thing will they work.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody. It was great to have you guys here. Frank, you can take off.
Yeah, okay. Hi. Just a second. I'm about to share something with you. 1 second. Come on. This is not the time for it. Anyway, I'll just share it how it is. So we're talking about can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
You can see Africa Data Science and Analytics Forum, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the link is inside the what's it called? The chat box. Follow it and join the group. As I'm talking to you, there are several partnerships and opportunities we have seen that we will only share with our students and those in the group. Do you understand? So whether you join the group, even if if you have people who are interested in data analytics, or work with it, they should join the group, because we're also discussing, it's an Africa-wide thing, and we're discussing with some people about partnerships to mentor those who are just up and coming. And all of this is not with money, it's free. Do you understand? It's free. We'll get to the point where it's only students and those who we vet, we feel they will add value that we will add. So at the moment, we decided we're going to offer it to those who attend the class. Is that okay? We have, there's a scholarship for some exams that are fully paid. There are some trainings that are already available, but we're waiting for this training to finish before we bring that up in the group. Okay. I think I've made it my point. Okay. So thank you guys for coming today. Okay. So if you've joined the group, confirm. Let me know in the chat, please. Just confirm. I'll speak to the team so that they will confirm your addition tomorrow.
So you mean the group on LinkedIn?
Yeah, the group on LinkedIn.
Okay, sir.
So I'll tell there's a team that will accept you. I'll just tell them that you're part of the training, so that there won't be a vetting. Okay, please, if you thank you for coming. Tomorrow we're focused on Power BI, and we'll have another HR session as well. We're actually working on something else tomorrow as well, but want to keep it a secret. Now, I also said that somebody here is going to win the full training package. The full training package, full scholarship to go through the course, fully. I'm hoping that whoever wins it will do like a poll. The person that wins it takes it seriously. Yeah, so thank you so much. If you have any more questions,
please please share the link, sir.
Okay.
Share it on WhatsApp, please.
Well done, everyone. But can we please share the link to the LinkedIn, please?
I've shared it in this chat. I'll share it in the WhatsApp group now.
Oh, okay, it's here.
Yeah.
I was checking on the WhatsApp, actually.
I'll share it on the WhatsApp group now. Then
but the two links is the same group. I discovered that the first one I opened, when I clicked on the second link, it still led me to the same.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I just put the name of the forum. The first link I put, I did not put the name. I just put the name of the forum. Like I said, there's already some trainings planned after this training, but we won't bring it up till this training finishes. Then we'll now address what's going on in the group, right? There's mentorship for people who are just starting. There will be support, of course, like all these things you're learning. when you start practicing at home and you encounter difficulty in the group, we'll create smaller groups that support each other. Do you understand? And of course, by the time you have 10 friends that are studying the same thing you're learning, if a job opportunity comes up, they'll tell you. Do you get my point? So networking opportunities, event opportunities across Africa, and training opportunities, all of that. There's quite a lot already going on. But anyway, we'll take it from there. No problem. So thank you so much for coming today. Tomorrow, yeah, I see your chat that you sent a request. I need to speak to the account managers for the group and tell them you're part of us. I'll take the list from this meeting and confirm those, because there are several people who are trying to get in, and tell them you're part of us. They'll let you in, you know. So thank you so much. Remember to come tomorrow. And I'll share this video, and possibly I'll have to speak to Cassy about the slides. Okay.
Sir, please,
Yeah.
I have a question before we go. Are we allowed to kind of post snippets of the training? Because I'm building my social media accounts, and whatever training I undergo, I do post little things I learn just to keep my.
Yeah. You can.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, please. Any other thing, just drop a message from me on the WhatsApp group. I'll take it from there. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Sorry for we're 27 minutes over the time, but I know it was time well spent. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night. Good night. See you tomorrow.